wa gatandatu na wawa mũgwanja mekagũrĩa ũmekwenda nĩ hakonotuwe ĩtirenda mũtaũri kamenyuothe mũrĩngĩ wĩtanagia na Jesũ icũndũkũ tũmũgĩ iyangĩthoma karĩkũ angĩthoma karĩkũ kana kamĩtaratara kana hihi angĩthoma karĩa kamaĩ maingĩ. Shalom, shalom, and welcome, my viewer and my listener, and shalom Shabbat to all those who are keeping the law, because today I'm doing this video on a Sabbath, and so shalom Shabbat to all Torah keepers, those who are keeping the Sabbath as per the commandment. And maybe you, my viewer and my listener, you'll get the video after the Sabbath is over. And so that is a stanza from the song Kĩũria Gĩakwa by me, Joyce, aka Daughter of Zion. It is here on YouTube. You can search through the channel. Kĩũria Gĩakwa is the title of the song. If you have not watched, kindly watch while there, like the song, comment, and even share the song if you can, and also subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel. Kufinya tu hiyo hapo pameandikwa subscribe, ukifinya itajiandika subscribed, hapo sasa utakuwa umesubscribe. And so thank you so much. Today, welcome to, this is part 6 of the series about the commandments. And today in this video, we are doing the 4th commandment. And that is why I have prayed that song. And before I proceed, I want to pray another song. Vumilia tu mpenzi mtazamaji na msikilizaji. Hii tu ni kiojo tu, kidogo tu, sio sana. Hatutakaa hapo sana. Kidogo tu. So, hii madharau, hiyo si poa we. Mnanifanyia nini sasa? Koja, just a minute, my viewer and my listener. Nitafute hiyo wimbo. Sasa ikikataa this time round, wachana na kanitha cia Evangelical, ithuĩ turenda kũigua ũhoro wa Thabatũ. Ikikataa this sasa, ikikataa when type A nimepata stress bwana, inakataa kufunguka. Ngumu bali maliza kazi yote ya uumbaji kwa siku 6, ya saba kastarehe, hakufanya kazi yoyote aliyoifanya. Amri ya Sabato ni Mungu alipeana, asifanye siku 6, ya saba ni Sabato, Sabato ya kustarehe. Up to that point. So, welcome, my viewer and my listener. we are looking at the fourth commandment. And I want to start by reading the scriptures. We said the commandments are found in the book of Exodus chapter 20, and they are also repeated in Deuteronomy chapter 5. So Exodus 20, let me read verses 8 to 11, where that command is found. Remember, don't forget it is we are looking at the fourth commandment. And before I continue, let me say that if you have not watched part 1, part 2, and part 3, I welcome you to watch, because we started from the commandments, now the introduction, which were they. And so today we have done the first commandment, the second, and the third. So we are doing the fourth commandment. Na pia tukiwa hapo, kama hauja subscribe, ni kuombe pia uweze kusubscribe, like the video, comment, and also share if you are in a position to do so. And God bless you so much. So 20 verses 8 of Ezekiel Exodus, it says, remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall remember, you shall labor and do all the work, and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your man servant or maid servant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, and the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore, the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. That is Exodus 20. I also want us to read the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 and 3, it says, by the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. Ndio maana mwimbaji akasema, Mungu Muumba alimaliza kazi yote ya uumbaji kwa siku 6. So by the seventh day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work, and God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creation that he had done. Kazi yote ya uumbaji aliyoifanya. And so here we are told that he rested on the seventh day and he blessed it. Exodus 20, we are told to rest. Sawa sawa. Now, let us also read Leviticus here. Leo nimeanza na scriptures. So, vumilia tu mpenzi mtazamaji na msikilizaji. Let us also read Leviticus 23. I want to read verses 1 to 3. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, these are my appointed feasts, the appointed feast of the Lord, which you are to proclaim as sacred assemblies. Verses 3. There are 6 days when you may work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of rest, not a Sabbath of going to church. Bible is very clear. It's saying that it's a Sabbath of rest, a day of sacred assembly. You are not to do any work wherever you live, as it is a Sabbath to the Lord. So even before you think of meeting, holding sacred assemblies, the first thing that you are supposed to do is rest. a Sabbath of rest. So in all these scriptures, yeah, it is God. You have seen that it is starting. The Lord said to Moses, so it is God who commanded. God commanded us to remember the seventh day, to keep it holy. Because now, why are we being told to remember? Because Sabbath was there from the beginning. That is why he said, remember. And of course, my viewer and my listener, you cannot be told to remember something that was not there. That means Sabbath did not start when God came down to give, when God gave out the other commandments. When the other commandments were given, that is not when the Sabbath started. It was there even before God came down to read the commandments to the children of Israel. Sabbath was already there. That is why they are told there to remember. The other commandments, God said, do not, all other translation, thou shalt not, yeah? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet, do not kill, do not covet, do not murder. But do not have any other God but me. Do not make for yourselves graven images. But with the fourth commandment, with the commandment about the Sabbath, he said, remember. So it was there. They are just being told to remember because it was there. So God commanded, but of course, the funny thing is that people do not keep the Sabbath. People do not rest on the Sabbath day as per the commandment. Instead of doing what God commanded, they do their own things. Yeah. Why? Because that is, it is because that is what they were taught from their childhood. They found their parents doing the same, their neighbors doing the same, and the society at large doing the same. They think that is now, they think that it ought to be like that, but it is not. It is not. And because this is what people grew up with, I mean, they grew up going to church, going to the mosque, going to the temple. So if you tell someone about resting on the Sabbath day, they will either tell you they don't worship the day, or all the days are equal as long as the one which you have chosen, you are okay and comfortable with it, there is no problem. But there is a big problem. Yeah. Some say they keep the Sabbath by going to church on the first day of the week, which is Sunday, which is very wrong because we have read Genesis 2, verses 2 and 3. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy. My question is, yes, you can choose any day, whether the first day, the second day, or any day of your choice to become your Sabbath day. The question is, are you able to sanctify that day the way God sanctified the seventh day? Are you able, my viewer and my listener? I guess you are not. The other thing, yes, you can choose the day you want to call your Sabbath, yeah? Do you rest on that day which you have chosen as per the commandment? Because on the Sabbath day, we are supposed to rest, abstain from all customary work. We should not even light a fire on the Sabbath day. Read Exodus 35 verses 3. You will see that we are not supposed to light a fire on the Sabbath day. So most people think because maybe those who are in rural areas, yeah, they don't go to their farms on Sunday, and that now is the first day of the week, yeah. And those who are in urban areas, as in those who are in formal employment, they don't go to work on the first day of the week, that is now the Sunday. Those who have businesses, yeah, they go to church for a few hours and come to continue with their business. And there are those who don't even open completely their businesses. So people think by doing that, they are keeping the Sabbath. That is wrong. They are not. It ought not to be that way, because to begin with, Sabbath starts from the sunset of the 6th day, that is Friday, to the sunset of the 7th day, that is Saturday. And we are told to remember the Sabbath day, not the Sabbath hours. So, going to church, not Sabbath hours. Going to church for a few hours and going back to do your work is not keeping the Sabbath. So before they go to church, they wake up, they prepare, they cook breakfast. Some they cook breakfast, they do their work. If it is washing, they wash clothes, they clean the house, utensils, anything. Those who have shops, they start by selling in the morning before the church begins, and they come back to continue with the work. That is not keeping the Sabbath, because all these things, we are not supposed to do them on the Sabbath. We are not supposed to do. And to some people, Sabbath is even a foreign word. There is somebody whom I mentioned to about the Sabbath, and he was like, what is Sabbath? As in, I used the Kikuyu one, or even call it Kiembu. I said that Nimuthenya wa Thabatũ. I was like, Thabatũ nĩ ndũĩ. You? Imagine. That is why I'm saying that Sabbath is a foreign word to some. And others associate Sabbath with a certain denomination. But we are talking about the Sabbath of the Lord, resting as per the commandment, the way God commanded. Not a denomination or not anything, no. So, we need to note that Sabbath was being observed even during the time of Jesus. Jesus and his disciples kept the Sabbath. People rested as per the commandment, yeah? People rested during the time of Jesus. People rested as per the commandment. Remember the women who followed Joseph of Arimathea. We are told that they went home and rested as per the commandment. That is what we are told. We can read the book of Luke. We confirm that one. Let us open the book of Luke. Luke chapter 23, verses 55 and 56. I can even start with with verses 50. Now, there was a man named Joseph, a member of the council, a good and upright man who had not consented to their decision and action. He came from Judea, he came from the Judean town of Arimathea, and he was waiting for the kingdom of God. Going to Pilate, he asked for Jesus' body. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen cloth, and placed it in a tomb cut in the rock, one in which no one had yet been laid. It was preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Now verses 55. The women who had come with Jesus from Galilee followed Joseph and saw the tomb and how his body was laid in it. Verses 56. Then they went home and prepared spices and perfumes, but rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment. They rested on the Sabbath in obedience to the commandment. So even during the time of Jesus, Sabbath was being observed. And they were observing the Sabbath by resting, not going to the synagogue, not going to the church. So the women rested in obedience to the commandment. John, this one is very familiar. I have read it severally, so I'll not read. I'll just quote John 12:35. Jesus said that, walk while you have the light before darkness comes and overtakes you. So the shift from observing Sabbath, that is resting on the seventh day, to going to church on the first day of the week, that is Sunday, is part of the darkness that came and overcame the people. Yeah. Now, let us read the Bible from the book of wacha nifungue alafu niwaambie. From the book of Revelation chapter 13, let me read verses 7. He was given the power to make war against the saints and to conquer them. And he was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. So here we are talking about the beast. Yeah, this is the beast that came from the sea, and we are told that it was given power to make war with the saints and to conquer them. So the saints were conquered. Daniel chapter 7. I will read verses 25. He will speak against the Most High and oppress his saints. These same saints, yeah, who were overcome, as we have read in Revelation, to oppress his saints and to try to change the set times and the laws. The saints will be handed over to him for a time, times, and half a time. So, this beast, yeah, will seek, yeah, will try to change the set times and the laws, including, and of course, it managed, including the law about the Sabbath. And this change took place gradually. People were told, even if you keep or rest on the seventh day, you can still rest or keep the first day of the week. And if we check hii kitu bana nayo nasumbua, I want us to check let me open this one. We are searching from the Google. If you if you search who changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, we are told the biblical biblical. Sasa mimi nimeanza wapi biblical? The change from Saturday into bracket the biblical Sabbath. The change from Saturday into bracket biblical Sabbath to Sunday. Sasa wewe nikuulize mpenzi mtazamaji. Sasa kama wewe unaenda Sunday ni biblical? Kwa sababu hata hao watu wa Ngogo wameandika vizuri sana. Saturday into bracket biblical Sabbath. So Saturday is the biblical Sabbath. The change from Saturday, the biblical Sabbath, to Sunday was not initiated by a single biblical command. So there is nowhere, it is not commanded anywhere that now we are supposed to change, to shift from resting on Saturday to Sunday. It is not written, it is not recorded anywhere in the Bible. But rather, through a gradual historical shift solidified by Roman Emperor Constantine in AD 321. Constantine issued a civil law requiring rest on the venerable day of the sun, Sunday. Imagine it is written, venerable day of the sun, then to bracket Sunday. So Sunday is the day of the sun, Saturday is the biblical Sabbath. Saturday, the biblical Sabbath, Sunday, the venerable day of the sun. Sasa wewe kama unaenda church Sunday, that is the day of the sun. Now, we are told by Roman Emperor Constantine. So, the change was gradual. And in 321 AD, Anno Domino, it is when now Sabbath, Constantine issued a civil law requiring rest on the venerable day of the sun, that is Sunday. And remember, Daniel 7:25 is talking about the fourth beast. Is the one which sought to change the set times and rose. And the fourth beast is Rome, because beasts stand for kingdoms which arose from the earth. There was the first, the second, the third, and the fourth beast. Now those are kingdoms. So the fourth beast is Rome. And also Roman Catholic also claim responsibility of that shift. Constantine was a Roman emperor. Roman Emperor Constantine. So it is the Roman which changed. Therefore, if you go to church on the first day of the week, Sunday, you are following the beast, because they are the ones who changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Yeah, no wonder Revelation, wacha nifungue, nikifungua ndio niwaambie nimefika Revelation 15:2 and 3 says, and I saw what looked like a grass of karibu niseme a glass of water. A glass, no, wacha ni repeat, yeah? And I saw what looked like a sea of grass mixed with the fire, and standing beside the sea, those who had been victorious over the beast and his image, and over the number of his name. They heralded the harps given them by God, and sang the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb. So, there are people who will be victorious over the beast and his image. And what song were they singing? The song of Moses, the servant of God, and of the Lamb. The song of Moses, my viewer and my listener, is following the law, which includes keeping the Sabbath, the fourth commandment. And of course, the song of the Lamb is his testimony, is the testimony, that is the teaching of Jesus and those of the prophets. Therefore, if you see people leaving church and start to observe or to keep the Sabbath, to rest on the seventh day, they are coming out of the beast or the beast system. So for people, and I say a majority of the population of the earth, to be going to church on the first day of the week, and even others worshiping on the sixth day of the week, it had been foreseen long time ago, and it had to happen. But remember, the beast was given power to make war to the saints and to defeat them. But the good news is, there are people who are seen having been victorious over the beast and his image. The fact that the beast made war with the saints and overcame them, there are people who were victorious. They were seen victorious over the beast and his image. The question is, are you or will you be among them, my viewer and my listener? That is the question I'm asking. Are you or will you be among those people now who are seen having been victorious over the beast and his image? Are you one of them? As I finish, for those who say that they follow the footsteps of Jesus, there is no way you can be following or claim to be following the footsteps of Jesus and you don't keep the Sabbath. You don't rest on Sabbath on the seventh day, because Jesus himself kept the Sabbath. And the Jubilees tells us that even today, Sabbath is kept in heaven. Let me get that scripture from Jubilees. Wow. Let me open Jubilees. It is Jubilees chapter 2. Wacha nifungue. Jubilees chapter 2, if you read from verses 16, I think this would be the last scripture I'm reading. Kwa hivyo, it says, Jubilees chapter 16 verses, chapter 2 verses 16 to 18 says, and he finished all his work on the sixth day, all that is in heavens and on the earth and in the seas and in the abysses and in the light and in the darkness and in everything. 17. And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. And all the ages of the presence and all the ages of sanctification, these two classes, he has bidden us to keep the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. So Sabbath is kept in heaven even today. And if Sabbath is kept in heaven even today, the host in heaven rests on the Sabbath, on the 7th day. So why don't you also? Why not you? Why should you also not rest on the 7th day? So, my viewer and my listener, shalom, shalom. And let me say that we have done the 4th commandment. But in this channel, I have done 7 parts about the Sabbath. So I have spoken into details, topic after topic, from part 1, 2, 3 up to part 7. I have spoken about the Sabbath. Remember, I said that we cannot talk enough. We cannot exhaust everything about the Sabbath. There is quite a lot that we can learn or talk about when we talk about the Sabbath. So I would request you to also scroll down and watch the videos that I have done about the Sabbath. There are 7 videos, and God will bless you. And so for my subscribers, God bless you so much. Thank you for subscribing. May God richly bless you. At the same time, I have also, by the grace of God, done another song, Kwenda Mbinguni. And so also, if you have not watched that song, I also humbly invite you, request you to watch that new song by Joyce aka Daughter of Zion, Kwenda Mbinguni. Sasa ukisa watch ndio utajua kama utakula fare ama we umeshakula. Kama ushakula fare, kudos ama utacancel that journey. But ukiwa pale, kindly like the video, comment, share if you can, and still if you have not subscribed to this channel, hiyo tu vile una watch hivi, hapo tu pameandikwa subscribe, ebu guza tu hapo and then itajiandika subscribed, na Mungu atakubariki. Otherwise, shalom shalom, tuonane siku ingine ama kwa video ingine. God bless you. Have a blessed time. Shalom.